Well, hello everybody, and this is Auntie. And I am here to do a catch up or an update on Love After Lockup Season 1. Where are they now? If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, everybody needs a sweet old auntie, right? Having one that just would be nice. 'Cause everybody needs a sweet old auntie, right? So welcome to Auntie's Advice. And to all of my subscribers who have been with me for the long haul, thank you, and thank you. You know, we all had such a great time with Love After Lockup last year. When it went off, we were sad as I don't know what. We had an opportunity to interview with Andrea and get caught up with her, and we really got into the business of all of the cast members. I thought that it was, an outstanding show. It was the first time it had been on, and we had a great time. So now we are going into season 2 of Love After Lockup, and a lot of you have been asking me, Auntie, please do a catch up and review Love After Lockup. Where are they now? So we're going to talk and dive into a little bit of where they are now. Frankly, I don't give a damn, but because you all are asking, inquiring minds want to know, damn it, your auntie gonna give you what you're looking for. So basically, we're going to open up with Dominique and Mary. As we all know, last season, basically he was, fighting in a nightclub and got his ass incarcerated. And, Mary was just, excited about him coming home. She went out there to go and see him for a visit, one of them, you know. And basically, they would not let her in because she, smelled of, marijuana on her clothes. And they basically was like, you're not having a conjugal visit today, boo. And so, we watched her leaving, weeping and crying and all, gnashing her teeth and all of that kind of stuff. And so basically, their little rendezvous didn't happen. But eventually, Dominique did get out of prison and he came home and he was a changed man. He was squeamish. He was afraid of everything. He just seemed like he wasn't really living life. She wanted to hurry up and get married, and he was like, look, I'm out here, I'm in the halfway house, and basically I have to follow all of the rules. And we saw him basically follow all of the rules. She wanted to marry him. She wanted to have this big elaborate wedding. The day he basically got home, you know what I'm saying, with the ankle bracelet still on. She wanted him to go tuxedo shopping, and he just wasn't having it. He wasn't happy about it or anything like that. He basically sat down with her eventually and told her, hey, this is not what I want to do. I'm on restriction. They need to know everywhere I'm going, and I don't want a big wedding. And we saw them get married on the dock of the bay, watching all the tides roll away along with their dog. And so basically, when we catch up with them, we basically see that Dominique now has fulfilled part of his responsibilities of being a free man or a halfway free man. He was in a halfway house and he is now come out of the halfway house. They still together. Dominique and Mary have basically, secured a home. And Dominique says they're going to stay there for about 2 years until they can really get on their feet and do all of the stuff that, they need to do as a couple to stay together. Basically, he says he didn't realize that Mary had all of these shoes and all these clothes, and basically she's high maintenance and a little bit annoying to him. And he didn't realize that she was going to be as annoying as she is. But they seem like they are very, very happy. When asked if she would marry or date an inmate again, Mary said, hell to the nah, I wouldn't absolutely not do this again. And basically, she said he doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink. He is basically a good boy. He is appears to be reformed. Seems like he is one of those guys who wants to be a free man. He doesn't want to be incarcerated again. So good for Dominique and Mary. They seem like they are very happy. The next couple we're going to talk about is Tony and Angela. She's basically at the same thing all over again. Boo Boo said, basically she done spent, between $6,000 to $8,000 on this Momo, sending him money in prison. She is it is so sad that she's in the predicament that she is in, because let me say thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Pamela Kirk, for the $9.99 super chat. Murray definitely is annoying. How Auntie love you. Love you too, Pamela Kirk. And so, basically she's still in the same place. We see her going to a wedding venue, and she's, basically ecstatic because, soon he's going to be coming home. He really did not give an explanation about why he was still incarcerated, just that when he thought that he was leaving, that ass wasn't leaving. And we saw her talking to some guys. She's an older woman. She's almost like Angela and Michael. She, has sent all of these, throwback pictures, and we saw her do a photo shoot to send him in jail. I guess she was doing a calendar or something like that. But she sent him some pictures and everything. And basically, this woman is still stuck. She's still taking care of this man. She sits on the phone with him at the wedding venue, and basically, she's sitting there food testing. And the waiter that's bringing her the food is looking like, what the foolishness? She's talking to him in jail and food testing, and she has him on FaceTime. And the only thing that this mofo can say is, I want to eat that off of you. I want to do this to you. I want to do that to you. She picks up a salad and she eats some lettuce. And she said, this is good. He said, yeah, can't wait to eat that off of you. This mofo in jail, hungry than a mofo. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that it's a bit extra. I think that he's going to do what he can do for her while he's still having to stay with her. But I don't see this relationship lasting. I see her as a sugar mama, basically taking care of this this felon. And it is really a sad state of affairs. Before she gets off the phone with him, he says, look, I done sat up here and talked to you all this time. I need you to go ahead on and send me some money. And she's like, I am, baby. I am. Angela she just does not mind being used by Tony. It is what it is. She knows what it is. I mean, it's one thing when you don't know what it is, and it's another thing when you know what it is and you just choose to live that kind of life. And I think that that's Angela's case. I think that Angela knows exactly what's happening, and this is something that she's choosing to do, is to continue to send this mofo money until she gets up to basically $100,000. The next couple that we're going to talk about, I'm going to skip ahead. Let me see. I want to talk about Garret and Jonna. Now, this right here is a hot mess. Basically, they're talking to Garret and Jonna. They decided to separate from one another. Last year, we saw this girl being ecstatic about having this man in her life. She was ecstatic about him getting out of jail. She basically, had some problems with her relationship with her dad, because her dad was throwing coffee cups on the ground and all kinds of stuff, and telling her basically she was living in the fantasy world. Her dad was telling her that this man doesn't want to get married to you. He's doing, and saying he's playing the game. He's doing what he do with the woo-woo and the boo-boo, but he really doesn't love you, Jonna. And Jonna could not hear that because she desired what she wanted, what she wanted. So basically, her and Garret, Garret gets out of jail and everything. They show, they asked Garret what was the most uncomfortable thing for you. He said basically having sex with a microphone over my head. And I'm saying, golly, you mean to tell me that We TV would actually go into the bathroom and have a microphone in the shower while they are, having sex? That's so gross. Now we heard the moans and the groans and all of that kind of stuff, but I didn't know that these mofos was actually in the shower with them. I had no idea that this is the kind of stuff that we TV would stoop to. I mean, that's an all-time low. Like, how low can you go? You talking about basically, they done went up in the shower with them. Like, okay, I'm gonna get past that, y'all. I'm gonna move on, but I'm stuck here for a minute. This is the first time this mofo has gotten home from jail. His first time, I guess, allegedly being with a woman. And they gonna film it and tape it. Oh, they nasty. And, basically, Jonna was like, it was real quick. But, of course, it was quick. And so, it was quick for her. It was quick for him, whatever. And so, basically, they do what they do with the woo-whoop and the boo-boo-boo. And, we saw their relationship play out. He basically began to be her little boy toy. See, she wanted him to be home with her. But when he came home, he brought a car. He did all of that stuff. He started hanging out. He got a little job, down at the crab shack. And basically, he wanted his freedom from her. He felt like he was, in prison all over again with her. And I'm going to tell you one thing. If you are a single woman and you are meeting a man nowadays, and that mofo talk about how soft the mattress is, that mofo probably more than likely done been in jail. Because one thing that I've noticed about these mofos is they jump on these beds and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, the mattress feels so good. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, golly, we kind of, we're used to being on a mattress. Even in the new movie that I have been reviewing on my other channel called Dirty John. These mofos that have been in jail for quite some time, when they get on a real mattress, that's just a telltale sign, ladies, okay? It's a telltale sign. It may be a red flag that this mofo has spent some time in jail. Just, just a little, a little something for you to put in your wallet. And so basically, Johnny feels like, he had been going out. She really didn't want to be married to him, but she did want to be married to him. They both really didn't want to be married to one another. She was somebody that was keeping him company while he was in jail. But when he got out of jail, he soon realized that, this is just not the woman for me. And so, basically they're going back and forth. And Johnny is saying, when we saw them last season, we saw, basically him try to do all of these things, make all these arrangements for them to, have a wedding and everything. She's in the bathroom, getting her wedding dress on and saying, this is uncomfortable. This is not what I envisioned for myself. And she's walking down the beach and he's saying, she's pressing me to marry her. She pressed me to give her a ring. Every 5 minutes he alleges that she was asking him basically to marry him all the time. He's basically in another relationship with some girl named Nellie. And so, Jonna gets down to under the arches and says, please don't make me do this. She says, my family's not here, my friends is not here, and this is not what I envisioned for my life. But Garret was happy. And so they show Garret and Jonna basically looking at footage from the past episode, and how they looked on television, and both of them were kind of shocked. The producer flat out asked Garret, were you cheating on Jonna? He said, damn right I was cheating on her. And, we saw him in clubs and stuff like that. This girl is blowing his phone up, where you at? She put a tracker on his phone. She just, she never trusted him from day one. But I believe that Garret gave her many reasons not to trust him. We see Garret laying in bed, and the sheets just look so filthy and nasty. And, he's laying in the bed, and he's like, come here, baby, come here, baby. And so we see, Nellie finally woke up. You know what I'm saying? Now, as you all know, all of us that was looking at Love After Lockup last season, Nellie and Jonna was going back and forth on Instagram, fussing and arguing about, whether or not she was in a relationship with him. We saw him in pictures with, Garret and her child. at the amusement park and all of that kind of stuff. So this relationship had been going on for quite some time. And Donna, didn't know anything about it. She said at one point she was trying to fight for her relationship. And we all knew that she was because it played out on Instagram. But she did not win. This girl, Nelly, won. Okay? And basically she has Garret. And so Garret and Jonna are not together. He's still, in this, relationship with the stripper Nelly. We saw Nelly, alleged stripper, because we saw her on strip poles and stuff like that. So I don't know if she was a stripper waitress or she was a exotic dancer or what she was, but she was one of those girls of the night and basically did all of her, her best work at night and around a pole. And they're together. Okay. Okay. So the next couple that I want to talk about and kind of catch up with is our boy James and Arla. So basically James, I was really interested in James' story because James had reached out to me, as you all know, several times. And I had a fondness for James. James had a fondness for me. We kind of, discreetly built a relationship with one another. Hi, James. And I really did like him, although I did not like the situation that James found himself in. James was dating this ex-model, Arla, who basically, went to jail because, something happened in transporting of drugs and state lines and all of that kind of stuff. And so basically, he is the son of the chief of police, I believe, for Chicago, and he's messing around with this girl. And he had two daughters, he was getting divorced from his wife. And so those were some of the things that, some of the questions that your auntie was asking him last year when he was kind of reaching out to me, and, we were just kind of talking, behind the scene. And so, but I really did have a fondness for him. I just thought that he was an idiot to stay with this girl. It was obvious that when Arla got out of jail, that things became very hard for her, and we started seeing her shifting and her moods changing. And James, admits that he realized that, she was basically on drugs, even though he was trying to not face those facts. He said that her voice would change, the way that she talked, all of that changed. And so he realized that, something was going on. We saw on television her in the bathroom with all of the producers and this grip men and the cameraman outside of the door. And basically, this girl is in there, I don't know if she was having withdrawal from drugs, if she was ODing from drugs, or what was happening with her. But something was happening on the show, and we watched it play out. And basically she went into rehab. After she finished rehab, she came back to James, and basically, she overstayed her welcome and did not report to her probation officer. So the probation officer, of course, is going to put a bench warrant out for her arrest, and they ended up arresting her. She went in and out of drug rehab and all of that kind of stuff. And so basically, we see him, basically admitting to that this was actually happening. He had a buddy that was telling him, this girl is on drugs. What is she using? Is she going to say that she's pregnant? And this is why she's going through the things that she's going through. And guess what? That's exactly what she tried to use, the, oh, I'm pregnant and that's why I'm sick trick. And, basically his best friend was like, I see past that. This is not what's happening. The girl is back on drugs again. And so today we see him. He has a new girlfriend by the name of Chelsea. And basically, Chelsea, we see him in the store buying Chelsea some lingerie in a box. And I'm saying, I wish the hell somebody would bring me a lingerie and it's in a box. Unless it's a pair of Spanx, you need to go you need to go and find out what the secret is over at Victoria's. Okay? You need to step it up, and I need you to be hitting the Lord and the Taylor, or the Macy's, or the Nordstroms, or some other store. You're not going to bring me a piece of lingerie back, and that sucker's up in a box looking like a pair of stockings. But anyway, I digress. So basically, he has this new girlfriend. He made her a little meal and everything, lasagna, and, some salad and everything. He didn't make it. I think he carried it out. And he said he met her, through mutual friends. She lives in Atlanta. And, she flies up and, he flies, to her and, woo doo woo doo. They got a long distance relationship or whatever. And so we see her, basically having dinner with him. And, she's grateful for the dinner. And then he says, is there something on your mind? And so now they go into the dialogue about what's going on with Olive. This stuff is so freaking scripted. So basically, she, tells him that she understands that Olive is due to come home. And basically, she wants Allah to not be so crazy about him. Basically, she says that this girl is trying to contact James, whether it be by plane, train, or automobile. She's using people's phone numbers in jail, family and friends. She's using everybody's phone number in order to contact him, although she has been told by her probation officer to leave him the hell alone. James indicates that she, basically her probation officer wanted her to get 2 years in jail, but she ended up getting a couple of months. And so, that ass is due to get home. And so she knows that James is taping and everything. And so she calls on the phone. She's hollering and screaming about some things. And I'm like, this is just crazy. And so basically, she's been in prison so far for 7 months. And Allah has been trying to, call him and everything. We see Allah, we hear Allah on the telephone, and she's saying, James, what are you doing? What are you doing, James? And, so she's fussing back and forth with him because she knows that they're doing an update, because I'm sure that they've contacted her and told her that they're doing an update. And so basically she says that James is using emotional abuse tactics to have her locked up. She indicates that she didn't get locked up because of drugs, but because she was with this guy. She alleges that James got angry with her because she went out with this guy that James didn't want her to go out with. And so he called the police. But just because you are out with another guy does not warrant them giving you 7 years. It had to been, 7 months in jail for going to visit somebody. So we automatically know that this is a lie. And so basically James is saying, she said, what are you telling them? And James is saying, I'm not telling them anything. And she's like, yes, you are. You're lying on me. You're trying to make it seem like this is about drugs and that I had drugs in my system or woo-doo-woo-doo-woo. You probably did. And again, James was enabling her, and he allowed her to not go and see her probation officer. And so that ass got locked up, and they probably did a drug test, a pee test, a blood test, and everything else on her. And drugs came up in her system, and that was a direct violation of her probation, allegedly, in addition to not going to see your probation officer. Bitch, you can't be crossing state lines unless you let them know that you're going to be crossing those state lines. So basically, he's saying, look, if you want to play those games, are you saying all of this stuff, Allah, because you know that they filming, and Allah is like, no, she's trying to cover up and trying to protect her reputation, but boo, your reputation already got scarred. Because let me tell you something, the way that you were moaning and groaning in that bathroom, we automatically know that there was something going on with you, and that this was just not some random sick day. Girl, get out of it. Girl, get the hell up out of here. So basically the girlfriend is saying, she's obsessed with him, and James has this little smile on his face. And she's like, but I'm not insecure about staying in a relationship with James when Allah comes home. But mighty funny, at the end of the show, there was a little, little clippet at the, little snippet at the end of the show that said that these Chelsea and James's asses are not together anymore. So something happened. Something happened. And I'm hoping that he did not go back to her. He says that the relationship that he had with Allah was tumultuous, and that it, was a lot of fighting and stuff. But some men like that. They like, women to smack them around a little bit. You don't understand what I'm saying? Some men really like to be smacked around, and some women do. They only feel love when they smack the hell around. They only feel love when they're abused and somebody's talking to them and mistreating them and yelling in their face. They believe, some people are secure and they feel good when somebody shows jealous tendencies. When they stalking your ass and asking where the hell you been every 5 minutes, and they texting you, I love you, where you at? Some people really like those kind of relationships. As for me, I don't. I don't want a needy mofo in my life. I did a story time, I think last year, and I told you all about this needy mofo that was in my life. And all my friends was like, oh, it's so sweet. He's texting you, auntie, and he really likes you. And he's just, no, this mofo needy, and he's a freaking stalker. And he's not going to stalk auntie's ass. And I'm telling you right now, I got rid of that mofo. So he was gone like that. Because there's a difference in liking somebody and having that new love. And, there's a difference between that and a mofo stalking you, and he needed in a mofo. You can't be in my life if you need it. You got to have your own life. You have to be independent. You got to have your own thing going. You have to have goals that I will get behind. I'll get behind and support a man that got goals and visions and dreams for his life. He aspires to be more than he is today. But if that mofo needy and his whole life is wrapped around me and what I'm doing with my life, he becomes very unattracted to me. I'm unattracted to guys like that. I need you to be a man's man. Okay, I need you rough and rugged, boo. Not rough and rugged when you gonna put your hands on me, but I'm a whole lot of woman. You know what I'm saying? Physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So if you gonna step up to auntie, I'm telling you, you got to have some serious game. Seriously. And your game can't be a game. All right? Because you got to be real and authentic. Because if you're not, it take me 24 hours to figure out whether or not I like you. And I've talked to you all before about my 24-hour rule. I know whether or not I like a man in 24 hours. I know whether or not he's good for me in 24 hours. This kind of foolishness right here, ain't nobody dealing with this. But this is the kind of man the kind of woman that he likes. And I guarantee you that he dropped Chelsea for that. Okay? Basically, all it says that Chelsea was saying that, she could tell that, or she believed that Alla was still getting drugged in jail because of the contents of the letters that she was writing to James. And I was like, how the hell did you find that out? And then here's the thing. If James is really moving on into a good relationship with Chelsea, why the hell is he sharing Alla's letters with her? Those are two separate women, two separate relationships. You know what I'm saying? So why would you have the two of those women in the same relationship with one another? This bitch I ain't mean to call her a bitch, but this bitch shouldn't know what Alla is doing or what Alla is saying. This is something that James has to be mature enough to keep, his women separated. So she should have already known when this man is sharing with you all this information about another bitch. Don't no woman want to know about another woman. You know what I'm saying? You want to know that you're the only woman in this relationship. So, you know what? James is not with her anymore. I don't know if he's going to be coming back for season 2. I don't think so. I believe that they're all new couples. And we're going to see tomorrow. And I can't wait to see. The next couple we're going to talk about is goddamn Scott and Lizzie. Okay? Lizzie is 2 months from getting out of jail. Last year, we watched this man send this woman all this money. We saw his best friend basically tell him, you are being made a fool of, Scott. Scott does not care. He says that he needs to feel needed. He is not going to turn his back on Lizzie as long as Lizzie confesses that she needs him. And I'm saying, poor Scott. Scott, I'm getting some brand new floors done in my basement. Holler at your boo with some money to get the floors done. Okay? Because I need you, Scott. I need money to get my floors done in my basement. How about that? Okay. Now 100 and some odd square feet. So, Scott, holler at your girl. Scott said he needs to be needed. Scott basically knows he's being used. He knows that Lizzie is abusing him. He said he know all her tricks. He know all the tricks that she was messing with in jail. Lizzie gets on there and says Scott was a trick. But then I fell in love with him. No, you didn't. Scott was the highest bidder, bitch. Don't sit up here and try to tell us that you in love with some damn raggedy ass Scott. Don't nobody. And looks ain't everything, but ain't nobody in love with Scott, okay? Scott looking like a human hairball. But Lizzie's on her way home. Lizzie said, you up here with me? He said, yeah, I done moved. He done moved. Because this is where he knows she's going to be. He done moved to Wisconsin. Because this is where she's going to be paroled at. She said, you looking for a 3-bedroom apartment? Because my daughter Jasmine's coming. And I know you got your son Adam. But Jazz need to have a room. He said, oh, you going to have Jazz with you? She said, yeah, bitch, 24/7. Jasmine probably don't even want to be bothered with her mother. She doesn't even know her mother. She's been locked up so long. But Scott just as happy as he can be. He said, I'd rather be a doormat than be nothing at all in Lizzie's life. This mofo has sat up here and said how much money. This mofo said he has spent over $90,000 on Lizzie. Do the math on that. $90,000, and now he's broke and having financial difficulties. How did he think he wasn't going to have financial difficulties when you just take $90,000 and throw it away on a lawyer for her? The lawyer cost $14,000 by herself because, as we remember last season, Scott went out to the jail to pick her up. And when he got to the gate, they said, this bitch ain't going home today. We don't know why she told you that. Which trick are you? He said, well, I'm the trick that drove all the way out here with my son. He got so ill and sick, he had to pull over on the side of the road and hurl in front of his son because he could not believe that Lizzie had hoodwinked and bamboozled him. And this mofo is still there for Lizzie because he said he wants to be a doormat for her. He said he saw all the negative comments about him on Facebook and Instagram and all kinds of social medias, and I'm sure he's watched my videos. Hi, Scott. He said he don't care. He not turning his back. So we see him talking to his best friend again. When he gets to telling her all the stuff that he's doing, she said, Scott, why don't you act like you lost all of your money? He ain't even got to act like it, boo. According to him, he has. He's lost all his money. And he ups and relocates to Wisconsin. The girlfriend got so mad with him because he was talking about how much money he had spent on Lizzie. She said, I can't even talk to you anymore. Good luck, bitch. Bye. That sound about right. That sound about something like that I would do. He basically sits in a thing and talks to a bartender about his problems. He talks to a bartender about how people think that it's wrong for him to be dating Lizzie, this woman in jail. The bartender's like, damn, the drink on me. Matter of fact, let me go here and get you another shot. Done. Done, done, done. We're going to probably have a ball with these new couples because they look like they off the hook. Our last couple that we're going to end up wrapping this hour up with is Andrea and Lamar. Basically, Andrea's on the phone with her Mormon girlfriends. So she's on the phone with her mom and girlfriends. She told me, I think somebody just got shot. They hear sirens in the background. Andrea, you safe? Andrea, you safe? You need to use a code word? Andrea is fine. She's phony and she's a liar. As you all know, when we first met Andrea, I liked Andrea. I liked her and I didn't like her. Had an opportunity to talk to her and then found out she was lying her mofo ass off. I like Nook Dog. I loved me some Lamar. Sure did. But Andrea turned out to be a liar. She drags her kids from Utah to California to be with a man that she dated for years. Years in jail. And so basically, me and Andrea started having some problems. I was supposed to fly out and do an interview with Andrea and Lamar. But the relationship between us got severed because Auntie couldn't deal with the inconsistencies in her story. So all of you all who were here with me last year, you know that I had very intimate relationships with the cast members. And for all of y'all that said, what, Auntie, I ain't know that? Yes, I did. I was supposed to fly out. Tell y'all all the tea on them. But I think even production found out that Andrea is a liar. There were so many holes in Andrea's story. She had already been on multiple shows before. Her little girlfriend that had the headband around her head, acting innocent, she was an actress too. She sat there and acted like she didn't know who Lamar was. She knew exactly who Lamar was. Or Nook Dog, as I called him, affectionately. Talked to him too. And now, basically she's sitting on the phone with her girlfriends, acting like she's in the middle of a war zone. She says, basically the girlfriend says, she's in a bad neighborhood and it's ghetto. That very well may be true. But if Andrea is living with Nook Dog's brother, as I suspect she still is, that's not a ghetto neighborhood. That's a very upscale neighborhood in California. See what I'm saying? The lies. She's saying that somebody that just got shot. She thought she heard gunshots. No, you didn't. But anyway, she may have been at a phone booth or somewhere else. Okay? But anyway, so girlfriends acting like they so concerned. Y'all remember her little black girlfriend? The little black girlfriend's still up to her same old shenanigans. She's sitting there basically saying, this is the problem I have with Andrea. She don't tell the whole story. Andrea doesn't tell the whole story. And the story that she does tell, you better look at it like it's a piece of Swiss cheese. Bitch, she got all kinds of holes in it. So basically, Andrea, they ask her, Andrea, how's the kids? And Andrea's like, they okay. They in their rooms. She get to stuttering and everything. So the girlfriend was like, so how's Lamar? She said, Lamar okay. She said, do you need to use some codes or you need to use Morse codes? Maybe you need to set up some smoke signals or something. And so basically, Andrea's like, no, I don't have to do that and everything. She getting ready to cry. And here come her little black girlfriend. Okay, the only black in the whole cotton freaking community. And she gonna sit up there and say, are you gonna tell them or you want me to tell them? Well, bitch, you tell them then. It wasn't no need for you to call me. It wasn't no need for them to do an update on me. If you gonna sit up there and tell them, you tell them. So we find out that Nook Dog was in the wrong car at the wrong time with the wrong stripper. And that ass locked up again. How in the hell is Nook Dog in the car with the wrong guy? He got a gun in this car, allegedly. They get pulled over, and they got a stripper in the back of the car. What the hell was baby Nook Dog doing? And to baby Nook Dog's family, I know y'all out here, you know what I'm saying? We was repping last year together, you know, with Love After Lockup. I'm sorry to hear that about him. Because his reunion with his daughter, I thought was everything. He stood up for his daughter with Andrea. He just about kicked the ass in the parking lot, you know what I'm saying? But he stood up for his daughter. And he wanted to build that relationship with his daughter who he had not seen in 18 damn years. So to his family that is here today, I am so sorry to hear that baby Nook Dog is back in jail. That was very disappointing to me. Very disappointing to me. She said that basically, you know, he wasn't gang banging and he wasn't doing all of that kind of stuff again. But how does he end up in the wrong car with the wrong gun and the wrong stripper, Andrea? Something, and you know, and she's talking about, well, I think I'm going to move back to Utah. You shouldn't have never dragged your kids across town like that. Why did you take your kids out of the environment? She never listened to her children. She thought that her children were being rebellious. They tried to get in there with baby Nook Dog. You see what I'm saying? But it just wasn't the right time. She needed to test this guy. As much as I liked baby Nook Dog, yeah, y'all know I like me some baby Nook Dog. She needed to test this relationship out to make sure that this relationship was the right relationship. I am hoping that this season that we're about to go into, that I can still build relationships with the cast of Love After Lockup. Because I'm going to tell you one thing, even though they some crazy mofos, I enjoyed my relationships with them. I enjoyed talking to them behind the scenes. I enjoyed, you know what I'm saying? Even though I knew a lot of the stuff was crazy and some of it was, you know, exaggerated and all of that kind of stuff, I enjoyed this cast. I enjoyed the cast from last year. I think the only person that I did not talk to was Scott. Scott was the only person that was on the cast last year that Auntie did not build a relationship with and didn't get to know him on a personal basis. You know what I'm saying? Scott and Lizzie. But the rest of them was cool. And I'm hoping that these cast members feel free to contact me like the other cast members. They're different from the cast from 90 Day Fiancé. You understand what I'm saying? I totally did enjoy talking with them. And like I said, really getting to know them, and I'm excited about where this is going. This Love After Lockup. They look like they have some really fantastic people. And tomorrow is the premiere, is the opening show, and my fat ass is gonna be sitting right here looking at it. Know that I will be coming out directly after the show to do a live review, just like I do with 90 Day Fiancé. Directly after the show, your auntie will be coming out and we will be discussing these mofos together. And so, you know, make sure you bring your wine. I was able to, as many of you all know, I've moved into a new home. And so I have finally been able to unpack my wine glasses. And so we will be going back to our live chat nightcaps. We will be clinking the night away. And I am so excited about this new cast, and I'm excited about Love After Lockup. Love After Lockup usually takes us past Christmas, so we got a lot of time to spend together between returning to Amish, between 90 Day Fiancé, and between Love After Lockup. We are going to be spending a lot of time together out here on this YT, and I'm so excited about it. I hope that you all are too. There's some other shows that I will be bringing to the forefront as well. I'll be continuing to do the reviews on that. And, you know, like I said, I understand that a lot of you all are not interested in that, but I cannot wait to meet the cast. I can't wait to talk to them. And build a relationship. Oh my God, I'm so excited. And to James, you know, James, I don't believe that you're back this season, but you know what, James, I wish you the best of luck. I have a feeling that you're back with Allah. If you want to hit your auntie up, If you want to hit your auntie up and give me the tea about that or possibly do an interview, I am completely and totally open to that. And even Andrea, if you want to clear the record and you want to get some stuff straight, you know what? You can still reach back out to me. You still got all my information. You can reach back to me as well. Dominique and Mary, I know that y'all didn't feel like I, fairly covered y'all last year, but y'all still respected my hustle. And so I'm hoping that, if you all want to clear some things up, you know what, feel free. Everybody should feel free to contact your auntie. But you know what, you all, I am going to end this segment. I thank you all so much for being here. I look forward to chatting with you all tomorrow night. I think that we're going to be going live. I think it's 2 hours, right? So we'll be going live at 11 o'clock. And I know it's late, but you know what? If you can be here, be here. And if you can't be here, beat me here. You understand what I'm saying? I love you all so much, and I thank you all so much for being here. Mwah. Have a great Friday and get ready for the weekend. Love you. Bye-bye.